Aren't you cold?
So I started my training 15 weeks ago. So coming down to, starts in what? Don't know, I watch probably 2.5 hours is when we start.
I think it's less. I think it's like 1 hour and 47.
Yeah, this is my third backyard. I'm not going to say ultra because haven't gone that far yet.
Morning.
What's their name?
Alves. A-L-V-E-S. Gabe and Zachary.
Ah, beautiful. 288 and 673.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
Have a good run.
Thank you. This is my 6th backyard ultra. Third time here at Birdy's. The second year was great, except so it was 6 weeks after COVID, and I really wasn't sure how I was going to run, or I had some heart rate issues where it would keep spiking. It did after 17 laps, which I was pretty excited about because it was a PB. But this one, I've got no excuses at all. I've got no COVID coming off. I've got no niggles. Maybe this is the race that I'll crack that elusive 24.
today I plan to finish in the late afternoon. I'm really hoping on getting a marathon, which is 7 laps. I think it's 46 kilometers, but I'll also be incredibly happy with 5 laps, which will be a PB for me. Yeah, I'll just see how the cold goes. I think I'm pretty prepared for it though, and it'll warm up as I'm running. I've done so much research on my nutrition and things like white bread and low GI, high GI. Yeah, I feel like I've learnt a lot. So for example, in Birdy's, I had done no training for 2 months, no research on my nutrition. I just went out there and winged it, and I pulled out 4 laps. So I think this event is going to be really good for me. Oh, during that 3rd lap, like, so many things were going wrong, which was my stomach. I couldn't eat anything. I couldn't stock up on my electrolytes or calories, and you know, it was all just going downhill. So like, I haven't even gotten to my PB. This is only, I think it's 20 Ks at the end of that lap, right? And like, it put me down a bit. And I wasn't even sure I would get a PB, but I'm so glad I went out on my 4th, because everything just fixed itself and I was good to go. I was down on calories and I had to stock up a bit on the later laps with pizza and another sandwich, but you know, it all pulled itself together and I made it out. How many kilometers off this lap?
I don't know, we've done 28 and a half, thereabouts, 28, 27, something like that.
No, but off this lap.
35?
Well done, little one. Zachary, you are the youngest kid doing it anymore.
Alright.
You win. Everyone else just DNF, just then.
Sit.
Yeah, someone I didn't know. I think Dad knew him, but he told me that all the other kids timed out. They just finished, and at first I was just like, oh, that's really cool. I'm you know, I got the furthest, and then a few seconds after that, I just go, oh. And then, I don't feel bad, but just, I'm not a very competitive person. I like to see people succeed, and, you know, I wouldn't say I don't like to win, but it's nice. But I want everyone to do their best and just, you know, achieve pretty cool things.
That's right, man. Well done. Alright, one more.
Gabe Zac. I'm not video, but I wasn't working. Oh, fine. Straight away. Yeah. And get all this junk. Jeez.
Yeah, 6
Take it out again.
history right here. Oh, yeah.
Yep.
That's it, buddy. Thank you, Felix. Oh, you got for another one? Well done, mate. Yep. One more, just one more. One more, man. Hold on, just one more, man.
It's difficult to explain, but I just kind of stopped thinking and just immersed myself in the music I was using, and just looking the path in front of me and taking it just a step at a time.
Did it.
Swag Zac! Woohoo! One more!
Good job. 673 and 288.
Legend, Zac. 40Ks.
Yeah, definitely. I'll do a shirt change. Well done.
My legs were starting to burn a lot, and even walking was just a nightmare. So I did my bare minimum. I went a kilometer into my 7th and turned around. That got me, I think, 42.6 Ks, which is just over my marathon. Pretty pleased with that. But officially, 40 Ks.
You sleep well. Either I'll sleep really well or I won't sleep. There's no in between.
Could you have kept going?
Oh, you know what? Well, after the race, it's easy to say, like, I could have kept going, yeah, but when I'm imagining myself back in the situation when I started my 7th lap, I was hurting so much in my legs. You know, you just did something incredible, like, and it's just...
So, after Zac finished running, it was a little bit strange because I really had focused on Zac getting to his goal, and then when he left me, it felt a little bit, oh, I'm on my own now. And to be honest, I had a bit of a down for probably 3 or 4 laps, particularly going into the night. And it was tough. I had to kind of, you know, you start getting those thoughts about, oh, everything's getting too hard and everything's hurting, and I had to grab myself by the proverbial scruff of the neck and basically say, look, what's wrong with you right now? And I went through a checklist in my head. It was like, your legs aren't hurting. This isn't fine. You've got plenty of water. You've got your calories coming in. Everything's working. Pull your head in and now focus on running and look where you are and just really enjoy it. And I managed to do it, and things became a whole lot easier after that. But there was definitely this time after Zac left where I was running on my own, didn't really find anyone to kind of set in with. Yeah, and it was tough for a little while. Yeah.
Did you say one time we were like, nah, we thought he was joking.
Oh.
Sorry, Dave. That's probably when we were looking at Tracksuit Man. Yeah, Ben was one. Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, Dad, the batteries for the good camera are flat, so.
Yeah, okay.
Yep.
Is it warm, Dad?
Yes, it is.
No. Is it warm running?
Yeah, it's fine. Once I get running. It's cold this first bit. And then it's...
Yeah.
Where's the Nutella? They've all been eaten. It's not what I'm here. I've got pizza. Blanket off.
Yeah, alright. Time to move. Alright. Let's go to another one. Oh my god, the night. That night was so cold, and it was probably one of the longest nights of my life, period. Got through to it must have been about 10, 11 o'clock, finished the 12 hours, 13 hours, and I was feeling good, and this other guy, Steve, sort of showed up next to me, and he liked the routine that I was running and said, can I just sit in next to you and run with you? And I was like, great, some company, and that was good, that helped. We sort of chatted, but then as we got to sort of midnight, 1 o'clock, my stomach started playing up, and I started to get a bit of gastro, and I tried to keep a smiling face. Every time I came through the finish line, I wanted the smiling face, but about halfway through every lap between about midnight and 5 a.m, I needed to go to the toilet desperately. And it was whether that motivated me, the cold or whatever, to run faster, but at the end of each lap, it was a mad dash to the toilet. And it was like, oh my god, how am I going to do another 8 or 10 laps if I'm rushing to the toilet at the end of each lap? And it was tough. I mean, it was tough. I think the only thing that kept me going was that when Zac finished, he said to me, he said, Dad, I made my marathon. You're going to make your 100 miles now. There's no choice. So during those hours, I clung to that, and I went, okay, I made it through another lap. Go out again, maybe your stomach will settle, and just keep working through it. And I did, and I got through till dawn, and the stomach did settle, but oh my god. Yep, that was one of the toughest. I can laugh about it now, but oh my god, that was tough.
Yeah, almost.
Anybody want one?
30 seconds! Jerry. Music again, or? Yeah.
At 7 a.m, the 2-2 lap where the sun came up, and I remember we went through the graveyard, the caravan graveyard, and as we headed down the road, directly ahead of us, the sun had come across the horizon, and it was one of those moments where I remember stopping, I just put my arms out and was just like, oh my god, the sun, it's back. And there was a whole bunch of us runners which we just stopped and just stood in the sun and just went, thank god we made it. And people were taking out their cameras and taking photos, and I managed to get a nice little bit of footage of the sun coming up. It was a really nice moment, and it's kind of like gives you that whole burst of energy, and it's certainly helped finish that lap, and a couple of others having that sun back up, and the temperature rising too was definitely beneficial.
I'll see you up
No, talk to me, not him. I cut the camera.
Ready for 20 seconds. Oh. Remember, you've got 4 laps to get it in there. Don't give up at the end of the lap, right? Set. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Just one more lap.
To get to 24 hours has been my goal for the last 3 backyard ultras. And when I knew I was going to make it, which I think was really when the sun came up, completed the 2-2 lap, which was my next PB. I knew I only had 2 laps to go. That was when I knew I'd made it. And on top of all that, I was running probably the best I'd run for the entire race. I think the lap 23 was my second fastest lap, my fastest lap, and lap 24 was my second fastest lap of the entire race. Look, I think I definitely could have gone further. I made the conscious decision to finish at 24. I'd met my goal, and in hindsight, I think I was in really good shape. I could have gone a lot further, but I had to put my logical hat on. I've got a motorbike trip where I've got 3 weeks of hard riding that starts in 3 weeks' time, and there's a part of my brain that said, you've completed your goal, don't destroy yourself now because you've got this amazing holiday that you need to be physically fit for, and if you wreck that, you will not be happy at all. So leave some for next time, and next time see how far you can go.
Good work, mate.
What is this being sensible shit? Oh yeah. Congratulations. Well done. Thanks for coming. Appreciate it. Got my 100. That's well done, mate. That's awesome. Well done, Gabe.
On milestone. Yeah, nice.
All right.
okay, relax.
You're late here.
No, it's right.
You're good?
Zach, you did it. Had to run 100 miles to get that.
Oh, for sure. My brain could have used that as a great excuse. I mean, it worked, didn't it? It worked. It worked really well. But you know, it's a few days later now, and I think it was definitely the right decision. I had some blisters on my toes that I didn't realise that I had, and having let those go for another 5 or 6 hours could have potentially really hurt my feet, which could have been an issue with my bike riding. What's next?
Yeah, what's next?
Well, definitely it's going to be Birdy's next year in March. And now that I've done my 100 miler, this one I'm definitely going to be working on how far can I really go. I'll be really working on how far can I push this boundary this time and see how far I can go.
I don't know what's going to look like, Zach. Oh, look at that. Oh. Blister underneath. Can you see it?
Ooh.
Ooh. That's a ripper.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm glad I stopped running.
Did you notice that was there?
No.
Oh my god.
This one's got one too. Oh, can you see it underneath?
Oh, that's insane.
What of this one though? Is that one worse?
Yep.